Good morning, everyone. My name is Shyama. I live in an Ananda village, and it's a real joy to be here today. I don't know if you know this, but this was the first Ananda temple that I visited a few years ago when I came for the first time to America. And not only the temple, but the people here made such an impact in me that I keep all of you in a very special place in my heart. So it's really an honor to be here today. So today's topic, is God present even when there is ignorance? Made me think how I feel when I'm in front of computers. I know there is a box. I think it has chips. I'm not sure if it has cables nowadays. And in addition to everything, there is something called coding. So thanks God, there's people that know how to do these things. And it seems like here in the Silicon Valley, there is a lot of smart people. But jokes aside, the kind of ignorance that I would like to share today is not about the intellectual knowledge, but what keeps us apart from God. The spiritual ignorance is the thought that we are distant from God. It makes us believe that the world, as we perceive it through the senses, is the ultimate reality. And it makes us forget what we really are. We are a soul having a human experience. Our true nature is joy, our true nature is happiness, and everything that we do in life is in search for that joy, in search for that happiness. But sometimes we get a little bit distracted. We don't really know where to find it, or we think we will find it in ways or places that realize that it doesn't really give us what we are looking for. Now, the spiritual ignorance is not our fault. We came here pretty innocent, but when God became creation, he put in place a few things, including duality. So here we are, trying to find our way out of this labyrinth of delusion. And there is a beautiful story that says when God created the first man, the mankind, he sent them to earth. And at that time, duality wasn't part of the whole game. So they came here, they looked around, they didn't find anything to engage. So they sat in meditation and merged back in God. But God wanted to play a little bit longer. So with duality and karma and Maya, here we are, experiencing all the ups and downs from life. Yogananda said that it takes from 5 to 8 millions of lifetimes to come all the way, to evolve all the way until we become humans. Then we are given free will. So that makes the journey even longer. And in that journey, what we are trying, again, is in every action and thought is trying to find our way to merge back in God. And in that living, we create a lot of karma in all those millions of lifetimes. I mean, just in one day, how much karma we can make in millions of lifetimes. The karma points that we have acquired are quite a bit. And living in the loss that God created, until we find our way out, we suffer quite a bit. And suffering, even though we don't like it, actually we need it, because it's the way that life has to make us learn where we find what we are really looking for. We may, if we touch a stove, a hot stove, we may burn ourselves, so we learn not to touch it. And the same in life. This is the way that nature will help us to really find our way. Also, Yogananda said that challenges are the spur for the spiritual growth. And there is no good things that can come without challenges. But there is a way that we can see this whole situation, and is not to see that there is not obstacles, there is only opportunities. So when we open ourselves to receive life as an opportunity with its ups and downs, we start to see things a little bit differently. We have techniques that can help us a lot in this journey. And we may think that we are the only ones that is suffering, but actually, this is the nature of this plane. Even saints and great masters, they also go through big deals of suffering. Swami Kriyananda, if you read not only Autobiography of a Yogi, but especially the books that Swami Kriyananda wrote, it gives an insight of Yogananda's life and a lot of challenges that he himself faced. But also Swamiji, Swami Kriyananda, he faced a lot of challenges. And all these great beings, these great teachers and masters, something that they do and they are able to do is to keep themselves centered in the midst of life storms, to be still, to be connected with the real essence. And all of us, we are taught how to develop that, how to be still, how to be engaged with our inner self, and from that, being in constant contact with God. Swami Kriyananda once, there was this person that went to his house to let him know, in a point of view of this person, all the things that he was doing wrong. And he laid for half an hour all his thoughts. So when he left, Swami Kriyananda thanked him. And he went to compose one of the most beautiful songs. It's called I Live Without Fear. A part of this song says, through tempest, through snow, through turbulent tides, the touch of your hand is my strength and my guide. So when we are able to open our heart, to receive the presence of God, to hear His guidance, and to feel His strength flowing through us, we are able to face any situation, any challenge that life may bring us. Now, are we bound to suffer forever? The short answer is no, but we need to do our part. And this is to change our consciousness, to see things in a different way, and move our way to live from ego consciousness to soul consciousness. When we are identified with ego is when we suffer. We look for things in the wrong place. We act sometimes not in the best way, and this is going to come back to us. And in this circle is where we suffer. But when we change that consciousness and go and live in soul consciousness, is where we start to tune and to live in freedom. It's like a fish out of water. What is what he wants the most? He wants water. So us, as a soul that now is identified with the ego, is very, very limited. What is the thing that most a soul would like? And it is bliss. It is the freedom of real joy. So all of us, everyone is in that journey. And this is a beautiful insight to see that everyone, wherever they are in the spiritual path, is looking for the same thing that you are. This is an invitation to all of us to open our heart and be kind and generous and compassionate with others, because everyone is in the same journey. How many times we've said or thought, only if, or when this situation finishes, I will be happy. When these persons get out of my life, yes. Well, sorry, I'm bringing this news, but that may leave, but new things will come. So there is an art of finding joy right here, right now. And the teachings that we are giving through Yogananda, Swami, and Ananda, it gives us the tools to find that joy here and now. And enjoying the process also. Many times when we think, yes, in the future things will be better, at some point we realize that no, never it is like that. But if we are able to embrace the process and be brave enough to raise our energy and act to be channels of that good, we will find that the blessings are right there waiting for us. Some time ago, I started painting, and all this time, the whole journey has been very interesting. At the beginning, wasn't easy. I will have an idea in my mind that I would like to convey on paper, but what I saw on that paper and what it was in my mind, it wasn't working. So I will get frustrated. It's like, what is this result? I don't like this result. So I dropped that thought and understood that I need to learn actually how to work with the tools that I have. So learning how the colors work, how the process works, what kind of paper I am using so the paintings will behave in a different way. And I forgot about making beautiful paintings, but actually the process, the very next step that was in front of me. And something happened, like out of the blue, everything just clicked together, and suddenly beautiful paintings were just coming. It seems like it has their own life. I cannot say that I'm doing that, but I train something like, I guess, my brain or the ways to do things that the grace and the light can flow through. And this is something that everyone, we should do in whatever circumstances, is just train ourselves to do the best we can so God can use us as a channel. If we are kind, if we are not kind with anyone, we will have infinite enemies. Swami said something in these lines. But when we start being kind, we can find friends everywhere. So by developing kindness, by developing good attitudes, little by little, we will create a vortex that will attract more of that. So being channels of the good and being in tune in living in our center. Now, how can we develop soul consciousness? Because the idea is good, but what can we do? First and most important thing is still your mind. We have the beautiful tool of meditation. And with this, we learn not to live from the periphery of our being, not to react in life's circumstances, but to go inside, to withdraw the energy, and to lift it up to the spiritual eye. In this process, we gain strength, centeredness, and wisdom. And not ourselves, but we tune with something higher. So by meditation, and especially Kriya Yoga, that help us to burn those seeds of karma that keep us apart from God. Another way also is paying attention, because God talks to us through our conscience, and He invites us to be kind, to be generous, to act in the right way. But we need to be receptive and willing. And Yogananda said that by acting consciously and continuously, by acting right, we will attract the divine grace that is going to help us to face any challenge that we may have created ourselves. So the third way, also important to keep in mind, is to pray God, to talk with Master all the time, to ask for his guidance. Yogananda wrote a beautiful book called Whispers from Eternity, and it's a compilation of prayer demands that he spiritualized himself, feeling the presence of God behind each word. And this is a beautiful book that we can come again and again to find prayers, to find messages that help us to connect with God and to ask his presence. I found this beautiful one from Whispers from Eternity related with today's topic about ignorance. Because we can do the best we can, but sometimes, most of the times, we need help. And where there is God and Guru, a great master, he will help us to take the next steps that we need to have that strength within us. This is the demand that God's light drive dark ignorance away. O divine friend, though the darkness of my ignorance be as old as the world, still make me realize that with the dawn of thy light, the darkness will vanish as though it had never been. Recently, I saw a very sweet movie that says, we are in the business of inspiration. So you and us, we are in the business of inspiration. We want to be channels for the light, for friendship and kindness. And it's by being open, by acting, by rising our energy, being brave to face those challenges that life may bring us. We will be channels of that light, not only to ourselves, to our life, but to everyone in the world. And by transforming our consciousness, by living more and more in soul consciousness, we will get out of our identifications from what we want, what we like, and we will become a channel for the light. Many blessings.
Life is